everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a comparison video on the new I Heart Makeup versus the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. The I Heart Makeup, this is the Chocolate and Peaches palette. It did just launch like a couple weeks ago actually. I Heart Makeup is known to do dupes for high-end products, and they do have a lot of the chocolate bar palettes as dupes. They are an affordable brand. They are from the UK as well. When I ordered this, it did take 2 weeks for me to receive it. But when I saw it, I knew it was supposed to be a dupe for the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. Here is a comparison on the two. When I first saw this palette, I knew I needed to pick it up to do a comparison video on this. So I definitely want to do, I want to break it down for you guys and everything like that. I do want to start off with a demo. And if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and give this video a thumbs up, and let's just jump right in. So I did prime my lids with the Milani eyeshadow primer already, so now I'm going to be setting it. And the shade I'm going to be taking in this I Heart Makeup palette is this one right here, and it's a matte white shade, and it's called Delicious. So I'm going to be taking on my left eye would be the I Heart Makeup, and on the right side, on my right eye, I'll be doing the Sweet Peach palette. So I think I'm going to be inserting pictures of the Sweet Peach and putting a little star or something on top of the shadow I'm using, because I think it's going to be just hard to be going back and forth to the two palettes to show which shade I'm using. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to be using the same brush for each eye, for each shade as well. And for the Sweet Peach, I'm going to be taking White Peach to set my eyelids. So the next shade I'm going to be taking is this shade right here, and it's called Fine. And I'm just going to be taking this fluffy blending brush. This is my BH Cosmetics 101 brush on the left side of the eye again. And just applying it to my crease to start a transition shade. These shadows are actually, well, this shadow anyways is really nice. It's blending out really good. It has the pigment as well. It's blending out really, really nicely. So for that same shadow in the Sweet Peach palette, I'm going to be taking Puree and with the same brush again and applying it in my crease. You can definitely smell the peach smell in the Sweet Peach palette, whereas in the I Heart Makeup it doesn't have the peach smell. Definitely a nice feature for the Sweet Peach palette to have. But again, the I Heart palette doesn't have that same scent. So far, I feel like both shades look pretty similar. So now I'm going to be taking the shade that's right next to it, and it's called Luscious, with the same blending brush. And again, applying it in my crease just a little lower, just to define it a little bit. And again, I feel like it's blending out really well. It does not look patchy or anything like that, so I'm really liking this palette so far. And in the Sweet Peach palette, I'm going to be taking Summer Yum. The I Heart Makeup palette is currently available on the tampbeauty.com website, I believe. But the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette right now is currently sold out. I believe they're going to be launching that palette again on December 14th. I don't see a difference so far. I don't know about you guys, but so far so good. The next shade I'm going to be taking in this palette is this light pinkish cream shade, and it's called Lush. And I'm just going to be applying it with my MAC 230 brush. And I'm just going to be applying it to my lids and going back with my blending brush and blending out the lid and crease together so there's no harsh lines. For the Sweet Peach palette shade, I'm going to be taking Georgia with that same MAC brush and applying it to the lids. On the lids, Georgia does look a little more pink. It has a more pinkish hue to it, whereas I think Lush is more like a pale white with hint of pink, whereas Georgia is definitely a pink shade. And again, taking my blending brush to blend out any harsh lines between lid and crease shade. So to deepen up this look, I'm going to be taking this shade right here, and it's kind of like, it looks kind of black right there, but it is kind of like black with purple glitter in it, and that shade is called Nice. And I'm going to be taking this Coastal Scents, I believe it's like a blender brush, I'm not sure exactly. And I do notice it does have quite a bit of fallout, I don't know if you guys can tell. So definitely tap off the excess, and I'm going to be applying it on the outer part of my eye. These shadows are really pigmented. I'm like super impressed on how pigmented they are and how close they are in shade with the actual Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. Like, that is crazy. Like, a little bit of shadow does go a long way. I did tap my brush in and tap off the excess and applied it to my lids, and now I'm just trying to blend it all out. So for the Sweet Peach palette, I'm going to be taking Talk Derby to Me. Again, the Sweet Peach palette also is very pigmented as well. I did dab my brush very lightly in that shade as well. To highlight my brow bone and inner corners, I'm going to be taking this shade right here, and it's called Satisfy in this palette. And in the Sweet Peach palette, I'm going to be taking Peaches and Cream. So I'm going to finish off the rest of my eyes. I'm going to be applying mascara and liner, and I will be right back. So here is the final look. I can't really tell a difference on the shades, but I definitely feel like the shades are really similar. If you are wondering what's on my lips, it's just the Urban Decay lipstick in the shade Rush. So let's go ahead and jump onto this review on this Chocolate and Peaches palette. So I did purchase this palette off of 10beauty.com, I believe. It is a UK brand and they do ship worldwide. This palette retails for $14.39. Definitely super affordable, $14 if you can't get your hands on the Sweet Peach palette. This Sweet Peach palette is $49. I was one of the lucky few that was able to get my hands on the first launch of the Sweet Peach palette. I remember when it launched, I was on the site, I think it was like midnight, and I was on the site, and of course it ends up crashing and you can't get on. So I just fell asleep and woke up 4 in the morning and it was available. The site was working, add to cart, check out, and I was able to purchase. But definitely the Sweet Peach palette is hard to get. They are going to be launching it again December 14th, I believe, and I do believe it's going to be a permanent item now. But if you want to get your hands on that palette but it's just out of your budget, I definitely think this I Heart Makeup Chocolate and Peaches is a dupe for that palette, and it is also $14. So it does come in this little packaging right here. It says I Heart Makeup London Chocolate and Peaches, contains 16 shimmer and matte shadows, and in the back of the palette it does come with the shadows that are inside the palette. So you open up the palette and it does come in this plastic case. I think it's super cute, don't you guys think? The packaging is really cute with this like chocolate melted packaging. I think it's really cute, and it does come with a mirror here. And it does come with this plastic sheet. Comes with this plastic sheet with the names of the shades. So it does also come with this applicator as well. I don't use those. I don't remember the last time I actually used that applicator. But this is what the shades in the palette look like. So in this palette you do get 16 shades, whereas in the Sweet Peach Too Faced you get 18 shades. You pretty much get all the shades that are in the Sweet Peach palette but 2 shades. So the 2 shades that you pretty much don't get in the I Heart Makeup palette is this one, which is called Tempting, like a black shade, shimmer shade, and then also you don't get this shade right here, which is called Delectable, and it's a purple shade. This shade is dark as well. It's the shade that I used to deepen up this look. So I don't think you would really need that black shade that you don't have, or the purple shade as well. But overall, I think they did a pretty good job duping this palette. So now I'm going to be showing some swatches of the 2 palettes and showing the similarities between the 2. So let's just jump right in. So here is the first row of the Chocolate and Peaches palette. They both look pretty similar. The only thing I really noticed was the black shade. The black shade is really pigmented on the Sweet Peach palette compared to the Chocolate and Peaches. But overall, they are pretty similar in shades. So here are swatches of the second row from the Chocolate and Peaches palette. The top one is swatches from the Chocolate and Peaches, and the bottom is the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. As you could see again, and pretty similar. The difference I noticed on this row was the first shades, which is called Sweet, and this one is called Nectar in the Sweet Peach. Nectar has a more yellow, light gold shade to it, whereas Sweet is more like a white satin shade, but the rest of them look pretty similar. So here's the last row of the Chocolate and Peaches. The top is the Chocolate and Peaches, and the bottom again is the Sweet Peach. So again, the first shades are the ones that look a little different. This one has more of a pink sheen, which is Lush, whereas the bottom, Georgia, it's more of a peach shade, where overall very similar. Again, this palette does retail for $14.39. I did have to pay for shipping. I believe I paid like $10 for shipping because they have free shipping when you order more than $75. So even with the shipping and this price, it ends up being less than $30, like $25. So that's already half the price of the Sweet Peach palette. If you're on a budget and are unable to get the Sweet Peach palette, I definitely think the I Heart Chocolate and Peaches is definitely a dupe for that, and cheaper as well. The difference that I did notice between the two palettes, the Sweet Peach palette definitely has that peach scent, whereas this one does not have a peach scent. It actually has the smell of the plastic. It's kind of stinky, but it doesn't matter. I feel like the shades they're pretty blendable and pigmented, so I don't think there's an issue with it smelling like the plastic container that it's in, but it's definitely a dupe. So if you don't want to get your hands on the Sweet Peach just for the price or just the hassle of getting it, this one is a great alternative. But also it did take 2 weeks for me to receive it, so you do get that. You have to wait 2 weeks for you to receive it, so that's the only con about it. But it is from the UK, so of course it's gonna take a while. Definitely recommend you guys picking this up if you want something more affordable. So that is what I think about these I Heart Makeup Chocolate and Peaches. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!